Hello, hello, episode number five.
Five.
Welcome to the Bark Side. Five, no, five. That's 10. That's five. Will we make it to 10? I don't know. Hey there, lady. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Welcome to the Bark Side, everybody. My name's Wilson. That's Tara. Pet in the
I'm
City,
Tara.
Dilbert Dog Grooming right there. Real quick, just some business up to take care of. Big thanks to everybody who's been following us on Instagram. We are up to 97 followers there. And
That's
I mean,
great.
we've only really just started, so thanks for that. Please share with your friends. We're getting more episodes going here and kind of figuring this thing out. So thank you so much for that. Make sure you follow us and subscribe on the YouTube page as well. It has all been nice and fun. We started off before the first episode. Tara and I kind of said, "Okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to call it? Blah 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 blah. Let's just have it be fun and everything." And then, dun dun dun, Tara,
Yes.
she
The
said,
reason why I'm here.
she goes, Wilson, eventually we're going to have to talk about food.
Dog food.
And this is, we know, one of the hot topics in the dog world and in the pet
Absolutely
world here.
is.
So we're going to get into that. Just before we do, I just want to say, if you were just watching us for the first time or you got this shared or something, I know about this stuff. I'm curious, so I'm kind of more on the end of, hey, I'm going to ask some questions here. My friend here, Tara, has been in the pet business for years and years and years, is an independent pet store owner in Charlotte, North Carolina. And there ain't a whole lot of independent pet stores around anymore. You know what I'm
There
talking about.
isn't.
So this is somebody, she's speaking from her experience. We are not trying to burn anything down. We're not just trying to just throw stuff up at the wall, doing some hot takes. This is something that I take seriously with my dog. Tara, you take this seriously for your customers. And there goes the disclaimer, and we both have lawyers. So, we are getting into it now, and this is a serious topic, but we're gonna try and, have
It is.
a fruitful conversation, if you will. So that's what we're getting into. Your motivation, Tara, for talking about this with our viewers here is, and with your customers is what?
It's just educating. Just getting the information to you. There's a big disconnect between grocery brand food and the foods that I carry in store and the reasons why I carry these foods in store. And it's time to talk about it. It's a very delicate subject because people are defensive about what they're doing for their dog because everybody wants to do the best. And this is not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad about what you're feeding. I'm just making you aware that there are better choices and you could actually save money on some of these things,
Well,
especially at the vet. I mean, so there's a lot of really good things that come out of food. But today I think we just talk about maybe learning how to read a bag and
I,
some of the ingredients that are better than others.
I think that's good, and I think you hit on two things I want to mention here. If you're watching this, the majority of people probably watching this get their food from a supermarket, from a big store or something like that, and because it's convenient and they think it's cheaper, and all of that kind of stuff. So you just hit off one of my buzzwords there. If I can kind of find something that's in my budget that is going to be a little bit
That's
better,
right.
well, then I am all ears right here. So
Sure.
with your experience here, where do you want to start this conversation? Where are we going?
Well, I think we should talk about food in general and maybe just dissect a couple dog food ingredient panels. I think it makes it a lot easier for people to understand what they're seeing while they're seeing it. And just kind of go to like some names that we know, maybe some names that we don't know, and just really what's in that bag. Because again, for humans, for dogs, for cats, it's really your quality of life is what you're putting in your body. It's the same thing for your pets. And so most of us choose to do better. And I would like to offer that advice. Just do better.
I think we've covered our bases here
Yeah,
on trying to
just
let people know we're not trying to burn it down. We're not trying to get you
right,
riled up. At the
right.
same time, this is some serious stuff here.
Yeah, and I get
And
riled up. So I get riled
well,
up for you.
I'm gonna just try and ask some questions here as just somebody who knows a little bit but doesn't know a lot. So I'm gonna learn along with you here.
Right.
Again, if you would like to comment, please leave a comment on our page here, subscribe on the YouTube page, or you can reach out directly to us at our email, thebarksideshow at gmail.com, thebarksideshow at gmail.com. All right, let the burning down begin,
Here we
Tara.
go.
What's our we have a picture here you wanted to show, right?
Yeah, let's talk about this picture. This picture is a pretty picture, isn't it, Wilson? What do you see on that bag?
Okay, so this is from the Purina website here. This is the Beneful dog food. I see a great looking dog. I see a bowl of food, and I see what looks like beef. I think that's a carrot there. I see some tomatoes, some veggies, maybe some peas. I see some good stuff going into
Yeah,
a very colorful looking food bowl. So I'm looking at this picture. I feel like I'm getting set up here, and I'm going, okay, there's carrots and there's beef and there's all kinds of good stuff there.
yeah.
And I can see the colors right there on the bowl. So that has to
Looks
be the great taste starts
terrific,
with
doesn't
real
it?
ingredients. That's
Yeah,
what it says right there.
yeah.
So
So there's
what
more
am I?
vegetables on the bag than in the bag. And I say that meaning there's a lot of colors in there, and colors do not belong in dog food. You don't need to color every other kibble red and every other kibble green and maybe enhance the burgundy color of the kibble. And kibble doesn't need all that.
But it's very
Normal
pretty.
kibble,
It's
well, it's
very
very
pretty.
pretty for
It looks
sure,
really good.
but you're
It
going to
looks
get
good.
no nutritional value, just like the bag. As far as it's not giving you what it's promising you in the bag. Does that make
So
sense?
let me under if I can decipher what you're saying here. Are you saying that the colors in the bowl that I'm looking at right now are more for
You.
people eyeballs than the dog
Absolutely.
eyeballs,
Yes,
correct? Okay.
yes, correct.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
so let's look at what's actually in the bag. And now if you've listened to me before, I think I mentioned it in one of the episodes, is that what we don't want. And now I'm also comparing grained food, since the vets are all into grains right now, and that's for another episode. So these are all grained version of these foods. And there are certain grains you don't want in your food. It's just the way it is. And you don't want corn, you don't want wheat, and you don't want soy. They're horribly allergenic. I mean, that's where the majority of dogs have a hard time digesting. And not to be graphic, you've eaten corn before, and you know how it comes out. It's kind of the same thing. And you can make it all sorts of ways. It doesn't digest well. Sorry, Wilson. I had to say
She's talking about corn in your poop.
it. How to say it. So let's take this bag and dissect it just a little bit, okay?
Hmm.
Because I got a couple bags I want to go through just so everybody can hear the differences. So
Right.
again, this is a good version of Beneful. It's natural salmon, natural dog food with added vitamins and minerals. We're going to talk about vitamins and minerals either today or another time, but you want to make sure your vitamin and minerals are coming from places that you know where they're coming from. Most vitamin packs come from China. And not knocking, oh no, I'm knocking. You can't trust everything coming from China. We all know this. Can't do it. Some of my bags of food, most don't have those chemicals in there, don't have those packs. They're relying on their food. But again, I digress. We're going a little bit further. So, back to Beneful. The first ingredient, salmon. Sounds good, right?
Yeah.
You're taught to think that the first ingredient means that that's the biggest part of the food. The amount of food in that bag is going to be mostly
Yeah.
salmon.
The first thing on the list there is the thing that's the most thing
Right.
there, right? That's what I've been told.
It's right, but it's not true if you start adding up what comes behind it. It certainly will start to outweigh that first ingredient. So listen to the ingredients. So the next one is whole grain corn. So that's your grain. But then we have whole grain wheat. That's your grain. Now you have soybean meal. That's your grain. Now you have chicken byproduct meal. And what that means is it's the leftover stuff from a chicken that nobody wants. It means beaks. It means a lot of things. It's the things that nobody wants that add no value to
Did you say beets?
beaks. I mean, it's anything. At least you know it's coming from a chicken, which we'll go somewhere else in a minute. So now I'm going to jump over to like their Cadillac. So Purina's Cadillac is what? ProPlan.
Yeah, the Purina Pro Plan. I've
ProPlan.
heard about that. Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
loves ProPlan. We have breeders using it and recommending it. Vets recommend it. It's like the Cadillac really of what
It's
Purina
pro.
has to offer.
It's pro and it has a plan. It makes me think that it's the top notch. It's the good
Right.
stuff. It's a pro and it's a plan.
Right.
So
So I
okay.
so I just picked one, and I picked a sports performance. It's 30-20 beef and bison. 30-20 is the ratio. 30 is the protein and 20 is the fat percentage. It's for working dogs, dogs that are burning and going and burning. And that's what they do. So you would expect that a higher protein and a higher fat count would be good.
Okay.
This is your food. And these are expensive bags. This is not a cheap bag. So your first ingredient again is beef. Then it's followed up with rice. And now you have poultry byproduct meal, which means a feathered bird, one that is unknown to us, and the parts that nobody wants. That's number 3. It's gross, right? Corn gluten meal. You take the worst piece of a corn kernel and you make it worse, and you make a corn gluten meal. That's number 4. And then you put your whole grain corn behind it. And you have beef fat. Then you have a dried egg product. Well, you don't know what kind of egg.
What is a dried egg product?
Well, it's something that they make from eggs, but it's kind of a,
So it's not an egg, it's a dried egg product.
sure. They may have had an egg at one point and they've made it into something else. They probably put stuff in it and expand it. It's a little scary.
Wow. Okay. So your reasoning for kind of breaking this all down for us, looking at this, what is your take on these ingredients here?
You're spending a lot of money on garbage.
I like the way you say that. I think you
Sorry.
have
I
some,
mean,
I think you have
listen,
somebody
there
else
was,
chiming in there at home. It's good.
yeah,
So, and this is kind of this isn't the budget, it's the pro plan meal. This isn't the budget choice here. This is something where
you're paying
you
some
know,
money for it. It's
you're
not
paying some money for
necessarily
this,
cheap. Yeah.
and it's the pro plan that you're thinking would be better than
Right.
other options, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And in your opinion,
Well,
with these
let me run you
ingredients,
down. I'll run it
okay,
really quick because I
yeah,
know I'm gonna just take a second.
right.
This bag is from Royal Canin, and I'm gonna skip the Hills Science Diet because it reads about the same as Purina.
Okay.
But I'm
Okay.
gonna go real quick on Royal Canin.
Is
This
this
is a
the Labrador Retriever adult drag off that
yes,
we're talking about? Yeah, okay, go
yes.
ahead.
It
Yep.
retails for about $120 a bag. This is breed specific for Labrador retrievers, and they make a ton of breed specific. There is nothing specific in this food. So remember, $120. Let me tell you, here's your first ingredient: chicken byproduct meal, brown rice, oat groats, corn gluten meal, brewer's rice.
Hey, what's an oat groat?
It's it's hard to
It's kind of
it's
like
a
the
little
corn.
piece of, yeah, it's like it's a piece of oat. It's like
It's a
a,
it, but it's
it's
not it's
birds
not the
eat
good.
it, if that
Okay.
helps. Birds eat it. It's bird seed.
Wow.
It's an
Okay.
oatmeal salt. Yeah, it's an
So, and then which one are we talking about here again, just so that
this is
people
the
at home?
Royal Canin
Okay. Where
Labrador
would
Retriever.
so okay, so two things, two headlines I'm taking for this. First of all, the ingredients right here. And then this is a breed specific food. For people that want to buy something specific for their breed, you would think it's breed specific. It's
Yeah,
made specifically
and I'm
for
spending a fortune on it. I'm doing so good for my pet.
because it's for their specific breed of
Yeah,
dog. What you're saying is that's maybe just some marketing stuff. There's
yeah,
nothing formulated specifically for that breed.
right.
Okay. Why would they do that?
It's marketing. It's money. It's not about the pet. It's about
It's
money.
about saying I'm buying something specifically for my breed of dog as a consumer,
Well, as
as
a consumer, it's, as a consumer, you think you're doing the best because it says so. The bag is
Well,
gorgeous. There's your dog. They have a German Shepherd breed. They have all of them. They all read basically the same. And they'll tell you corn's great, and it's not true. Corn's not great. And your first meat is a byproduct.
well, we hope it's meat because it's a byproduct.
It isn't. Well, exactly. Exactly. Maybe it's some
So
ground up.
so what you're saying here is that some of these companies might be maybe marketing something specific for a breed and marketing something as all natural kind of,
No,
they're natural, but it's kind of byproduct things that maybe aren't really beneficial to the diet of your dog, right?
absolutely right. That's
Okay.
right.
Um,
I know we,
you're kind of blowing my mind here. I was kind of ready for some of this and getting down into some of this. I feel like I'm on an episode of Science Friday or I'm listening to it and I'm
it's a
going,
little scary.
whoa, I didn't know this. I didn't know that. So I can see why some people get riled up. Why, and we're going to get into some more of this here. Why do you think, and let's just go to take a sip of water. Here we go.
Okay.
Why do you think, and again, this is what you do for a living. You have a pet, you deal with consumers coming in and getting the food. Why do you think some people are so defensive of their choices when they can read this just as you are? It's online. We've got this off the websites. Why are people so defensive about this? Why do people get riled up? Because to me, as somebody who's like, hey, I want to know the best, you are a person who's in this business. When I see these things, a byproduct, something like this or whatever, I'm going, okay, I did pass science in high school. I know that that's kind of what it is. It's a thing that I'm not really sure. Why do people get riled up, Tara?
I'm going to tell you, and this is going to rile people up. But here it goes. First off, your vet. Your vet knows nutrition through Purina, Hill Science Diet, and Mars World Canine. They get all their information through them. Their course learning is through them. They go to Tufts University and it's funded by Purina. They get their information through them. That's what they know. I'm fine with that because they really should learn surgeries, medications, situations, how to heal a broken bone. That's the stuff they should know. They also should know that these companies are about money because they give kickbacks. I mistakenly, now I'm giving away information. There is a situation, this is why I'm doing the grain food. Hills thought I was a vet and they sent me a letter thanking me for sticking with them through these terrible times and offered me $500 to keep their food. I never had their food and I wasn't a vet. And I'm just telling you, I'm not blaming vets.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Hang on. Let's stop. You didn't mention this before. Okay.
I've been searching for it. It's somewhere in my emails.
It's fine.
In
We did, well,
2018.
So a couple years ago, you get an email and it says, hey, thanks for sticking with us. And it was addressed to you. Why did you think they thought you were a vet?
I don't know. I think Yelp sometimes pushes my information.
But what I'm saying is, in this letter, it was written to
me
as
you were a vet. Yeah,
okay.
It made no sense, and I don't know why I got it.
And they offered you $500 for your
sticking with them through the hard times, because not for anything, Hills gets a lot of recalls too, and they had a big vitamin D recall where they hurt and killed a lot of dogs, and they took their time recalling it, and it was a lot of it was part of the prescription diets too. So let me tell you, we could go off on recalls. We could talk about this evidently all day because I'm doing it. But
so we all want to kind of think that the people that help us look after our furry members of our family have the best intentions.
Absolutely. Okay? Best and intentions.
We want to think that. At the same time, I feel like we've all become a little wiser over the last couple of years as to what corporations are and to what maybe might motivate some companies to maybe they care about the bottom line more than um you and me.
We
I
could
know
talk
that might,
about a subject, but it'll be a long time. And
yeah,
maybe
I
we'll
know that,
say that for next time or maybe in a couple episodes to give people a
right.
chance to digest because I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah. Um, so what do you, and we have some more we can get to here, but we're coming up on the clock, I know.
Yeah.
I feel like we've just kind of dropped a little bit of a bomb here because that email is kind of why would a I'm just going to ask the question here. In your opinion, lawyer speak here, putting it out there. In your
Opinion
opinion,
only.
why would a pet food company send $500 to a vet for sticking with what would the motivation be? Would it be just, hey, geez, thanks a lot? Or why would they do that? Why would they
I
have
mean, honestly, they don't want to lose their footing. They make a lot of money, and it starts with the vets. They they're the number one prescription diet out there. I don't know if it still ranks that high today because of all the incidents. I couldn't tell you. I know there's alternatives, and I know there's absolutely zero prescription about it. And it's been proven in a court of law, and no one talks about it. There is no prescription reason for those diets
do you get people that come into your store, customers of yours, saying, my vet told me to do this, but it's
all the
not
time.
working, or for whatever reason?
All the time.
How do you handle that situation?
I just talk to them. I kind of can feel like I read a person well, and if I know I'm treading, like I know I'm not going to get through, I don't try. But if I know they really are interested in hearing, because again, I'm not knocking a vet. It's not their fault. They don't know. They've been handed this over and over again. And I mean,
If I'm a vet and I got somebody sending me $500 and I'm going, yeah, I don't want to believe that either. It does make me want to maybe ask my vet, hello, doctor. Are
they're
like,
very loyal, and I've tried to open that door. So I am surrounded by vets right now,
right, yeah.
and I have a good vet like right down the block. And I've opened that door, and it's not good. I had a vet visit. Here we go. I had a new company come into town, and they came to see me. This happened. This is why I'm having this conversation. It happened last week. New vet wanted me to. They incentivized me by every referral I'd get a certain amount of dollars. I mean, it was awesome. Sounded great. And my question was before I put my name on anyone or anything, I always ask questions. And I was like, so where do you stand on nutrition? And I got nothing. And I got a lot of, she's very excited because she never had this asked before and she'll find out. And we set up a time for the next day for them to come back and talk to us. And guess who didn't show up?
Mm.
So even today, I'm telling you, there's a disconnect between vets and people like me. I've been doing this a long time. I was certified when I was in my 20s for through hills, no less. And I it's
Was that
it's a it's a thing. It's a
in your
thing.
20s? So what, 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As we're wrapping this up here, I feel like what you just told me, and again, I'm just looking at this from someone who doesn't have your experience but cares and wants to know more. I feel like what you just told me here is akin to, oh gosh, the Fugitive movie a couple years back with Harrison Ford, where he went through this stuff and he found out that there was some incentives going on here, and it led to obviously some crazy situations. And we're not saying that there is a
Mm-hmm.
one-armed vet trying to kill your dog, but kind of the premise of that movie was there were
So
some big companies involved that didn't want certain people that were independent to maybe ask some questions here. Am I kind of picking up on that vibe correctly?
you are,
Okay,
you are. I mean, there's a lot more to talk about in that
right.
realm, but well, let's just talk dog food for now, and
Yeah.
I
So,
can totally go. We can go.
well, let's save that for next. I think this is definitely a two-parter.
Okay.
Because we only got through half of the stuff we're going to talk about today, because I
Right.
knew this was going to be kind of crazy. So again, tune in next week, or the next post in this episode number 5.
Please
So
ask
episode,
questions too. Send
well,
questions to us. I love questions, so send them.
you
But don't
gave
send
us.
death threats.
Well, I hope. Listen, I don't think you have come and we've had this discussion, and just so everybody knows, Tara was you've experienced some of this firsthand with your people here, and you're very wary about going into this. But I wanted to get into this because I'm curious, and I want to know more about my dog and your dog and everybody's dog. So we're coming to this from a place of genuine, for me, curiosity
Right.
and authentic
Love.
experience here. Okay,
Yes.
uh, Tara is an independent pet store owner. And it deals with this. The fact that an independent pet store owner was contacted by a company that said, "Hey, thanks for not bailing," makes me think, wow, okay, what is going on? It also makes me think, if they're sending out that wide of a net of, hey, here's a company that has pet in the name, let's send them $500. So there's a lot of questions there.
Sure.
We're going to find out more. She's going to look around for some of those emails, some of those other examples here. An independent pet store owner's opinion. So take that for what you want. I'm stepping away from this now and kind of going, all right, well, maybe I need to ask some more questions of my vet and where I'm getting my pet food. And maybe I need to go and talk to someone that isn't working clean up aisle 7 where I get my pet food, if you know what I mean. So all of that's some good stuff. You can reach us directly here on the show. The Barkside Show at gmail.com, the Barkside Show at gmail.com. This is a pretty heavy topic here. So thank you for this. Tara, thank you for all of that. We didn't get to anywhere near everything we're going to talk to, but that's why we're going to be back for next week. And reach out to us here. And Tara, listen, thanks for doing this, because I know this was kind of I could sense you kind of, you've got a lot of experience with this, and
It makes
this isn't an
important.
easy,
It's
it's important,
important.
but it isn't an easy
It's not.
conversation. This is
Isn't.
tough. And this is kind of our first tough show, whereas it wasn't just all, hey, it's fun and hey, it's dogs, and we're gonna be but that's part of it. So
Yes.
episode number 5 in the books right there. You okay? You good?
Oh, I'm good.
All
Just
right.
getting started.
Hang on. I'm entering in your lawyer in my speed dial. Okay. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Hi.